CF fans want to know what's your name and where you're from.
Yo, it's your boy Triggagfc from Brixton repping Brixton, up where Norway, know the thing.
How would you describe your life growing up?
My life growing up, to be honest, I grew up in Brixton. If you know about Brixton, back in the 90s anyway, it was a gruesome place, you understand? So yeah, that's the slums, innit? The real slums. I grew up in the real slums. Everyone grew up in some sort of ghetto, but Brixton was the slums in the 90s, you understand? But yeah, that's basically where I grew up. I was originally born and raised in Kenton, moved to Brixton, and yeah, that's just been my life story, innit?
And what first got you into music?
Me personally, music, I come from a musical family. Like, my dad does music, brothers do music, everyone's got some sort of involvement in music, whether it's producer, artist, singer, songwriter. Like, it's just kind of like that in the family, innit? So it's just a part of the bloodline. And for me personally, I feel like I was just kind of picking up where Pops left off. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's like my main music history, innit?
And what kind of music do you make?
I'm an artist. I make all sorts of music. You get me? I sing songs, I rap. You get me? I do grime. I don't really play with the drill because I'm not from that era. But I mess with the drill beats, innit? And I do my thing. You get what I'm saying?
And what would you say your creative process is?
My creative process would be always to find a banging hook. Once you find a banging hook, just build from that, innit? Like the verses come naturally, innit? Depending on what stage you are in your career as an artist, you get what I'm saying? But yeah, more time, from you build the hook and you feel that vibe, everything else just flows, innit?
And have you worked with any other artists from Brixton?
Yeah, I have. I've worked with a few artists from Brixton. One of my fellow artists, Noble 1BOF. Also another fellow artist, Cash 1DMG, Kazi Blacker GFC, Brass 65th, Pappy Hilltop, and as much as I know a lot of people might think, oh, my man's rubbed out or whatever, I've got a tune with Young Spray, you understand? And that's gonna be on my new project, but I'm not talking too much, you understand?
Who or what has inspired you to do music?
Well, inspiration-wise, as a young boy growing up here, I was a Jackson 5 fan, you get me? That was my thing, innit? I wanted to be little Michael Jackson, you understand what I'm saying? Even school days and that, man was doing little performances in primary school and them things there, you get me? Little Jackson, 5 settings, little moonwalk and that was kind of my thing, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd have to give it to the big man, Michael J, you get me? Definitely the inspiration for me.
What other artists did you encounter growing up in Brixton?
Yeah, I know all the artists in South London. I know most of them. Like, I grew up with Conan and Crep. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I know Sneak Bro from young. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Lowski's my little guy. I know most of the artists that are relevant from the South Side, to be honest. So yeah, like, I've encountered most of them that are popping and probably know them very personally. You get what I'm saying?
Growing up in London, I know it's not easy. Did you ever get in trouble with the law?
To be honest, I grew up in a troubled society. I've been in trouble with the law a few times. You know, I've been on a little holiday once. I guess it's a part of the system when you're from South London. So. But yeah, I've been in trouble 1 or 2 times. Wouldn't really classify myself as a troublemaker though, but yeah.
What age did you jump off the porch?
For me personally, I've been outside probably from like the age of 9, 10. Because I've got a lot of older family members, so I was one of them young youths that was probably out before their time, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so probably like 9, 10. But yeah, like I was officially doing road by the age of 12, like, yeah, everywhere, all over the place. You get me?
Give me one lesson you learned from the streets of Brixton.
Alright, one lesson that I've learned through the streets of Brixton. Not everybody's cool. That's the realness. Not everybody's cool. You get me? Like, yeah, like obviously, me personally, I've been a popular person and I've grown up with a lot of people in Brixton. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, not everyone man's necessarily friends with, but one thing I learned about Brixton, not everyone's cool.
Growing up, did you have any role models you used to look up to?
I wouldn't say role models still, you know. I'd say like a couple big bros, innit? Man had a couple big bros from the ends on the hilltop that man would look up to, kind of show man certain ways of life and just how to move, how to survive sort of thing, you get what I'm saying?
And who are your top 5 artists outside the UK?
Top 5 artists outside of the UK. Alright, cool. I tell you my top 2, yeah. Obviously, they're both deceased, innit? King Von and Mo Free. I don't really have a top 5 out of the UK. I don't really take. Yeah, I'm more about the UK still. But it's definitely Mo Free and King Von for me still. I'm not really with that Tupac shit. You get me? That wasn't fun. That by the pesties knows and people scream out fun like that was not fun like. You get me? Biggie was definitely my guy, innit? You understand? But yeah, for like modern age music, it's definitely Mo Free and King Von, innit? Rest in peace, both of their souls, you know?
CF fans want to know what's next for you.
Secretly, I've got a little project coming, innit? This is called The Matrix, Volume 2. So I initially released Volume 1 a few years back. It might have been 5 years ago, yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but it might have been about 5 years ago. But that's when I wasn't really taking music serious, innit? I was just on and off. So say the past 2 years, I've been taking music very serious and trying to be as consistent as possible, innit? But yeah, I've got a project coming, but it hasn't been set a release date, so I don't want to talk too much.
Who would you most like to collaborate with?
Alright. This one's kind of weird still, yeah? Because even though my music name is Triggagfc, like, my nickname growing up in the streets of Brixton is Chip, innit? And I always thought I should collaborate with Chip from North London. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that would be a different sort of collaboration. Do you get what I'm saying?
How do you think social media has impacted the music scene?
I think it's impacted the music scene in a big way still because it's become a platform, isn't it? For artists to reach out to others, for people to see what you're actually capable of, to showcase your talent. You get what I'm saying?
How do you think social media has impacted the music scene?
I think it's impacted the music scene in a big way still because it's become a platform, isn't it? For artists to reach out to others, for people to see what you're actually capable of, to showcase your talent. You get what I'm saying?
Do you think it was harder to make it then or now?
It's easier to make it now, but it was easier to catch a buzz back then. So I'll tell you why. Because you see, when you're younger, you have a lot more of that young age society that's around you tuning into your stuff. When you get older, people around you don't necessarily tune into your stuff until the people outside of you tune into your stuff. So it's a bit different, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying? But when you're young and you've got that essence, people want to hear what you got to say. As soon as you get older now, it's like you have to be bringing some stuff for them to listen to, innit? To get it.
It's time for some quick fire questions. Are you ready, bro?
Yeah, let's get it.
Alright, cool. Breast or bum?
Definitely bum.
Tracksuit or jeans?
Jeans.
Diggity or Central C?
Diggity.
Champagne or cognac?
Champagne.
Blade Brown or K-Trap?
They're both my guys, man. But I have to say K-Trap, you get me?
Football or boxing?
Definitely boxing.
Gigs or Young Spray?
Young Spray.
Drinker or smoker?
I'm definitely a smoker.
Heady One or Tion Wayne?
Heady One, man.
Labour or Conservative?
I have to say any because I'm not really into all the politics. But it's Labour, innit? If I kick, I'm not into the politics.
Chunks or Young Philly?
Young Philly.
Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Netflix.
D-Block Europe or NSG?
NSG.
Mercedes or BMW?
Definitely BMW.
Stormzy or Chip?
Stormzy.
What is your favourite song to perform?
My personal favourite to perform is, I've got a tune that you can look up on my YouTube, which is at Triggagfc, called This Style Ain't Free. And that's one of my personal favourites because it's very meaningful, you get me?
What is one message you'd give to the younger generation?
Listen, just get your education, yeah? Get your education, that's it, yeah? Trust me.
What's the best advice you've been given?
The best advice that I was ever given, I would say, was from one of my big brothers growing up. He said to me, be humble.
Tell us the craziest situation you've been in.
Crazy situation I've been in. This one's a funny one still. You know, like, I don't remember how old, I feel I'm 15, 16. Obviously, can't call no names. But this is some real life stuff, you get what I'm saying? But it's nothing bad still. Just some young experiences. Me and my mate, it was three of my mates still. Obviously, one of them a boy, two of them were girls. We decided that we was gonna go back to her house after the party, but it was weird because obviously her mum and her stepdad was upstairs, you get me? So she decided to sneak us in. And all I remember is that we was making up too much noise in the bedroom because we're young, we're just there busting up jokes, drunk, you get me, just chatting rubbish. And the mum just burst in the room and it was so mad, like, mum was like, shit, what do we do now? And I was like, listen, I said to my bedroom, listen, I'm out, you know, cause yeah, I'm trying to find a window to get out of all sorts of things. It was so funny. But eventually, you know, we walked down the stairs and then the stepdad wants to speak to man, you get me? But he was on some wicked man thing. And you know what was funny now, yeah? He was talking the most wickedest talk. And you know, like, it was mad because I knew his face from somewhere, you get me? And I was like, hold on a minute. I said, you know his son I am? And I was like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, swear down. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, forget all of that. And he was like, yeah, swear down. Yo, a long time I know your father, you know? Yo, but that was the maddest experience for me as a child. Trust me, the first time, you get me, I had to run out of a girl's house.
And for the last question, CF fans really want to know, what's the most realest shit you've ever wrote?
Alright. Following what I said earlier about my recent project that I dropped called The Matrix. I had a tune on there called Matrix, and I think that's one of the realest shit I ever wrote.
Could you give us a quick 8 to 16 bars?
Yeah, that's like. So you ready? Alright, listen. One can't out know about them. Stay close to the fam, might know about friend. Man said they do roll, they don't know about skanks. Been smoky on the low key, don't beg. Everyone claims that they're whipping and gripping. Most of these niggas never seen a kitchen. Look at me, nigga, tell me where the stick is. You ever see a big man beg? I try one, but the M1 lick him. Safe.